What up? And welcome to another episode of From the Script to the Screen. And we back, my hero edition of From the Script to the Screen, season 6. The hiatus is finally over. We back with the second part of the season. I'm excited for the show to finally get carried on with the rest of the material. As you guys can see, they hit us with a new opening, a new ending. So as always, before anything, the disclaimer, make sure you watch the episode before we get into it. I don't want to hit y'all with some spoilers. With that being said, we're jumping into a new volume. Volume 31, dope cover. One of my favorite covers in my opinion because it shows the relationship between Deku and All Might. We know how much Deku looked up to All Might, but we'll leave that for later. Now, I know some people weren't happy because it was somewhat of a recap episode. They only went over one chapter. I think it was chapter 290. Let me make sure. Chapter 296. Only one chapter. But in my opinion, I'm not mad at it because even though it was extended in the chapter, they do go over the battle report. They do go over the casualties from both sides and things like that. So, in my opinion, like it was, we kind of got like a clear definition of what went on during the battle. So it was cool to see. Something that they did add on ahead of time was I guess you could say the altercation between, I'm definitely going to mispronounce it, but let's say the arms company that supplies the heroes and the Public Safety Commission, I think it is. Not the Public Safety Commission. Getting it mixed up with Chainsaw Man. But let's say the Hero Commission, the people that basically overlook the standards and the regulatories for the heroes and things like that. We see that the leader of the Meta Liberation Army ended up, taking out some people in that regime, in that clique. And we see that in spite of that, the heroes still decided to carry on with the raid. Could have led to some things that, didn't go as planned for the heroes. But like I've always said, in my opinion, I think the heroes have ended up losing this raid just for the fact that the villains, still achieved what they wanted, which was basically chaos, and achieved the community, the citizens, to having doubt in the hero system in general, and they basically achieved their goal. But again, we can't blame the heroes because it was basically inevitable. The villains were gonna do this at some point, so it's better that they got the villains by surprise than the villains catching them by surprise. We see from the battle report that there were a lot of casualties on both sides. We see that, there's basically chaos all over the place. Something that I did enjoy seeing in a panel from this week. Even though there's chaos all around them, like I always say, the students are, people that take their job serious, even though they're basically not even supposed to be on the scene. And it's something that we see when they go over the battle report. Ochako and Fruppy are still trying to, save as many citizens as they can, and basically try to bring some control to the situation. So I still enjoyed seeing, basically people still trying to do their job. Because on the other hand, another important panel is that we do see now that since a very serious and a very chaotic situation has landed on the front door of the heroes, not everybody is really able to make the cut. We see that some heroes did take things more hard than others. And in that panel there, we see that, some of these heroes aren't happy about what they saw. They can't really take what they saw like I said, there's been a lot of death, there's a lot of destruction everywhere, and some of these heroes have decided to call it quits, which is why, like I said before, seeing some of the students still trying to do what they can was something cool and important for me, because again, this is why I feel like the at the end of the day, the citizens are in good hands with some of the students that we've seen. Like I said, some of these pro heroes are kind of decided to throw in the towel. I understand, of course, because not everybody is even able to deal with what they have to deal with. But at least some of them are still staying around, still sticking around. So it's kind of important. And like I did say before, as far as the heroes go, they did take some big casualties, because some of the top heroes were part of this operation, and some of the top heroes were some of the people that were eliminated or were severely injured during this raid. Being with people like Merkel, we saw that Majestic and Midnight are people that didn't make it through the battle. Something that I feel like the anime did a good job of portraying, just the sadness and I guess the despair of the situation. We know that the students love Midnight, somebody that the students enjoyed being around a lot, because she's somebody that kind of put them at ease, and they looked up to us like another mother figure. So it was hard on the students to see that Midnight was killed by the villains. So shout out to Studio Bones. Like I said, not something that I enjoyed seeing, since it was something sad, but the studio did do a good job, again, like I said, of just portraying the panel. And one thing I did want to say before I got out of here was that I was wrong about it. We did get clarification in the episode. I tried to blame the hero responsible for waking up Shigaraki, saying with him blowing up the equipment and the electric shock that occurred and things like that woke up Shigaraki. But we see that I was wrong. We were wrong. It says that Shigaraki woke up due to the pure hatred and anger that he has towards the system and towards the world, and that's why he revived himself. So there you have it. See that Shigaraki is determined to burn everything down. So we'll see what happens. And like I said, that's about it. It was a quick episode. Most of it was recap, but they just covered one chapter, chapter 296. But we see that with the intro, there's a lot of things that they're gonna get into. Can't wait to see it animated. And by next week, if you've seen the preview, you already know that there's no rest for the wicked. So we'll see what happens next week. Thank y'all for checking it out. Let me know what y'all thought about the episode. Peace.